Hello everyone, welcome to Lighthouse Stamping with Lorraine. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Vancouver, Washington. Thank you for joining me today. Before we get started, you'll find all the product I used and all the dimensions listed below. There's a link to my online store. If you need a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be yours. Also remember we have a clearance sale going on right now, so you might want to go check that out on my online store. There's a link to my Facebook group. We'd love to have you join that. There's my email address. If you have any questions or want to see something made, please drop me a line. And finally, remember to like, share, and subscribe on this video. And if you ring the little bell, you'll be notified every time I upload, and that helps me out in YouTube world. So, I pulled out another set that is leaving us. It's called Whale Done, and it's such a cute little set. And so, I thought we should play with it one more time before it disappears. Show you what we're making today. Of course, we have a simple little envelope. And this is our simple card. He's very simple. Little whale. And this is a double Z fold. And it says, hoping all your birthday fishes come true. Not wishes, but fishes. Like I said, it's a simple little card. And so that's what we're making today. So, you are going to be needing, you're going to need 2 pieces of cardstock. So you get both of these out of one sheet. This is Coastal Cabana. We need one at 11 and 4 1/4 and one at 9 by 3. And we're going to go ahead and score those together. So we're going to be scoring at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. And 5 1/2. Like I said, scoring on this is a really easy. And then on the 6-inch side, or the 9-inch side, we're going to be scoring at 3 and 6. Like I said, they're pretty easy measurements to work with. Now, I made different styles of cards before, different shapes of Z-fold cards, and this is just a different one. So let's go ahead and fold and burnish. This one will fold back like this one. Now normally when you see these, they're scored exactly the same, and then you just flip them. This one is not. That's what makes this one a little unique. But we're still going to fold one way, and the other one's going to go back this way. So we have it like this. So it's going to sit in our card this direction, this way. But before we can put the first panel on, we have to decorate. So, got a bunch of pieces here. So we have, this is from By the Bay. This is the one with the fish going in the circle. And this is 5 3/8 by 1, or I'm having a hard time with things. This is why the dimensions are listed below. It's 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. That's for here. And then we have 2 pieces that are 2 5/8 by 4 1/8. And those are for here. And if you notice, I've cut these from the same piece so that the fish just carry over on this one. It's 6 by 6 paper. If it was been 12 by 12, I had to cut them in one line. But since it's 6 by 6, we can't do that. But you could use different paper from this pack, you know, or any paper you have. And we just have little margins on this one, little 1/8 inch. Now making sure I line up the top and the bottom here so it looks even. So that's the base of our card, and you see the glare really good. Okay, so now this piece is the next one we need to decorate. Well, we have to do a couple things before we can decorate it. So we have to do some stamping. First thing we need to do is get a piece of scrap paper, and we need to stamp our whale, because he's going on the front. And I'm stamping our whale in Misty Moonlight. Just like that. I use lots of different colors on this card. And then I have my whale punch. Go ahead and punch out our whale so he's ready to go. Just like that. All my paper out and close that back up. And this is a nice piece we can use for something else, and we'll get rid of that. So then there is more DSP. Now this is the back side of this cut, so it looks like water. And these are 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. There's 2 of those. One of those will go on the front panel and the whale will go on it, so we don't need to, it's going to go here, so we don't need to do anything to that. This one here, we'll come back to that one, is we are going to stamp a turtle and some jellyfish. Now the turtle, we are stamping an old olive. Oop. My turtle was not stuck very well to my block. There we go. And I'm going to stamp him down right about there. Ooh, that's not good. What am I going to do with that? You see what I did? I got it and I rocked. Well, let's see here. First, I'm going to clean my stamp pad. And maybe we'll disguise him and see if it works. These are some bubbles that are in the set. So let's see if we can disguise these in some bubbles. And we'll put a few bubbles coming out from him. That don't look too bad. I think I can live with that. Let me clean my bubbles before I grab them again, because we are going to be I got my Stampin' Scrub off to the side, so we are using the bubbles. Don't rock your block, but I think those little bubbles will help. And then Balmy Blue. Boy, hang on for a second. I didn't adhere. I just set these on the blocks. I didn't adhere them very well. Give them a good press before I started. And I think I want one jellyfish up here. And I'll put one right about here. So that doesn't look too bad. Remember, it's a handmade card, so no one will probably notice but you and me, and so we won't tell, right? So that's the middle panel. And then the back panel is 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. And this one we are going to be stamping our verse. And we're going to do that in Coastal Cabana. Now, I may have just recut that, but unfortunately, I don't have any more paper of that kind. So I'm going to put this up in the corner. just like that. And then I'm going to grab Calypso Coral. Doing the coral, might as well use Calypso Coral. And put a little piece of coral down here in the bottom. And we need some fish. Make sure I've got my fish going the right direction. And this is Tahitian Tide. And we'll put some back off there. That looks good to me. And I want to put a seahorse on here. And he is a granny apple green. And my seahorse needs a friend, so we'll have two. Now, we're not quite done with that piece, but while I've got this out, I'm going to grab my envelope because my envelope has my seahorse on it. So we're going to put a couple on this one too. Now we need some bubbles, and I want to use Balmy Blue on this. And here's my bubbles again that I already cleaned off. And I just want to put, I'm doing full strength and stamping off. Just some bubbles right through the fish there. And we can give these guys some bubbles too. You can still write right over the top of that. If you want more room to write, you could put another piece on the back side. But I wanted to keep it cute and simple. So now it's time to start assembling this card. So we'll put these pieces on. Like I said, this was an easy card. Cute. Get him out of there. I find Z-fold cards have a wow factor when people open them because they're not expecting something like that. And whoa, did I really mess this card up? Do you see what's happened here? I cut this page the wrong size. I cut this one the wrong size. Okay. Back up here for a second here. I have my glue on this. So what I want to do is I'm going to turn this. I'm going to cut this from this. Let's see how much I need to cut off. It is supposed to be 2 7/8. What did I cut it at? I cut it at 3 inches. So I'm going to cut it. Now, I am getting a little glue on here, but that's okay. I will just wash that off later. And we still have our turtle. He's fine. So let me get him stuck down here before I go any further. See, I make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. You can't see where I'm cutting. I tend to see small items to cut at this end. Nothing says you have to cut at this end. I cut at the end that's comfortable for me. And when I'm sitting, this end is comfortable. So I'll just clean that up with a little alcohol and it'll be just fine. So if you get glue, or you could take a piece of paper, scrape off a lot of the glue and put it on that way. Always ways to fix things. Because we all sometimes make a mistake when we're cutting stuff. So that's like that. Now we're not putting our whale on yet. We're going to put this down first. So what you want to do is close this back up so it looks like this. I'm going to put this one on here, and I'm putting this on my grid so I see exactly where I'm at. So I want to try to line this up. That's about 1.5 inches. It's too about 2.5 inches. Right about there's 2.5 inches roughly, and about 1 inch or a 1/2 inch, 3/4 from each end. You just want to make sure you get it in the center. Lift this up, put just a little glue on this end. Remember, you're not putting the whole thing down. Close it, hold everybody in place for a second. This is why I'm not putting the whale on, because we're popping the whale up on dimensionals, and this way we don't have to squish him. And then this, I'm going to flip over, put glue all over the back, and close it. And you have to hold it when you're using the paper that has the gold on it. You do need to hold it for an extra few minutes or seconds here, because it takes a few seconds for it to adhere, because it's not porous like regular paper. So there's the card. Looks like that so far. Our little guys there. Now we have our whale. Let's get rid of this glue. And let me grab some dimensionals. And I'll grab one little one. Stick on his tail. We'll close him and put him there. And I know people are probably looking the same, but there's no verse on the front. The front of a card doesn't always have to have a verse. These are the Opal Rounds. I've used them quite a bit lately. I love them, but they are going away. So I'm going to start with a big one. And these are his bubbles coming out. They work great for bubbles. So I spaced 3 of them here. There's little air bubbles coming out. And then I thought he was not sparkly enough for me. So I grabbed my Wink of Stella, which I think I brought with me. And just gonna put a little Wink of Stella on his body. Try not to go into the white too much. I don't want it bleeding, because the Misty Moonlight will bleed. But I just want to give him a little sparkle. Get this off of my tip there. And that is our card. A very simple little card. Stands up like that. It's a cute card. I think anybody would be happy to get that card. Even with my little snake there that you cannot see since I had to cut the paper off. So like I said, thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Remember to like, share, and subscribe this video. And send it out to your friends and help me grow in YouTube world. And I will see you on Friday. Not sure what I'm doing on Friday, but we'll play with something. So I'll see you then. Thank you for joining me. Goodbye.